What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. I want to go over some things and just show you where I think the price is going without getting into too much other stuff. We didn't get the pullback that I was looking for yesterday. I was calling for somewhat of a pullback. It wouldn't have been that big. It would have been like 3 to 5%. It really wouldn't have been that big. But now, I would like to see a move back to this 236 around 29.2K or 28.3K, the 382. That would be a more likely scenario in my opinion. Some kind of move that would take us down here and then up, And a lot of people, I feel like that would be something to kind of look for because we are at a previous topping area. I think this would psych a lot of people out. It would have people thinking, oh no, we're double topping. We're double topping here. It really is bearish still. Like, this was just a bearish move. I don't think that's what's going to happen. We have increasing volume as price is increasing. This looks good, man. We had the biggest daily candle that we've seen. 5.9%. It's still not that big, but biggest daily candle we've seen. 2 5% candles back to back. Increasing volume, substantial volume, significant volume. Not alone, not standing alone would they be significant, but together and repeatedly like this, it is significant. I would like to see some kind of a pullback because if not, if we just keep going higher, the move up will probably be smaller, like not as big as it could be, and the move down will be bigger than it would need to be as well. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so let's just get into this. Let's try not to dilly-dally on this too long, but I'll show you what I mean. So yesterday, literally on this candle, this is where I made my video yesterday, and I was calling for the pullback. If we went from the low here to the high here, I was calling for a move to like 28K or 27.3K by the time the video was getting over. I know in the beginning of the video the price was lower, so the lines would have been lower, but as the video went on, it was like a 38-minute video, so there's enough time. As the video went on, we had this top here, and the 236 or the 382 is where I was looking for it to pull back. I did say that if it didn't pull back, that would just make the inevitable pullback more extreme. And I'll show you what I mean by that. From the top here to the 236 that I was expecting, that would be about a 3.7% move to the downside. It didn't happen. So now, if we were to look for the 236 or the 382 here, the 236 and the 382 are higher than they would have been, but the drop is also higher. It's now a 5% drop. That's 1.2% more than it would have been. So as we continue to move up without having any checkbacks, and if we don't check this 236 or the 382 from here, and we just continue to move higher, the inevitable pullback itself will be bigger than 5%. But I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going to happen from here. I do expect that this is not the end, not in the short term, not in the near term, maybe in the immediate term, maybe over the next couple days. That is the current like topping point, and we just come down and we find a higher low, and then it's off to the races again. This is kind of something that I'm more expecting, but we could continue to go higher from here. But if we do, the odds of it being a strong move are not that good. If we take the bottom here, I'll show you what I mean, right? We take the bottom here before we started to move up, or no, maybe I need it on the hour so that we can see it better. Yeah, okay. So the bottom here, right? The bottom here before the move up, that was a 9% move. The bottom here before the move up, that was a 7.5% move. If we continue to go up without, we didn't have a real check back here. We just moved sideways, and we have lower levels of volume, decreasing volume. On the daily, it's increasing, but on the hourly, overall, it's increasing, but on the hourly, it is dying off. And on the hourly, we have bearish divergence. We have higher or lower highs with higher highs in price. This is bearish divergence, classic bearish divergence, and it has been confirmed. It doesn't need to go super low to play out. It really just needs to go like somewhere around here, around 30K, which we're only $300 away from that. And it doesn't even need to go there. It could just go higher from here. But in my opinion, this does look like confirmed bearish divergence. I would be surprised if we took out this high before seeing prices go lower. What would be indicative that we will see moves to the 236. I'm gonna put the fibs on here for you. But before I do that, I want to get back to the point before I get sidetracked. This first move from bottom to top was 9%. This move was 7%. If we continue to move up from here, I would expect that the next move would be smaller than 7.5%, probably around 6.5% to 6%, maybe 5.5%, because we're seeing it, right? This move was more dramatic. This move was less dramatic, and the move following would be less dramatic, just as the volume is less dramatic, just as the RSI is becoming less hot. I could be wrong. It could be, I mean, this could be the move that's just freaking, 31%. I doubt it. But I would more expect some kind of move like this to happen if we don't check back at the 236 or the 382 from here. And I want to draw those, I want to put those lines back on here. Maybe it's on the daily. Let's see. Yeah. So from the bottom here to the top here, I would expect currently a move back to the 236, which is around 29.3K. If not, and in my opinion, more likely the 382, which is around 28.3K. And I say more likely because not only is it the 382, but it's also this previous area of resistance. Checking this back as support would not only be healthy for price action, but it would be insanely bullish, man. It would be very, very bullish. And already we've got insanely bullish price action and indicators going off right now. But if we were to move down like this and bounce up, it's going to be great. It's really going to be great. And I want to go over some other stuff real quick before we get into the meat and potatoes of it all. I guess we're getting into it, but on this RSI, when I'm talking about strong readings and how obviously it would be strong to see the price action bounce off of this previous area of resistance and go up from there. On the indicators, we have other strong readings, and this is why personally I'm telling you right now, I am getting ready to buy. I've been saying that for the past couple days. I have been saying that I wanted to see a daily close above here before I was convinced, or some kind of pullback. We didn't get the pullback, and we haven't had the close yet. But I also did say that if we went from top to bottom here, if we went above the 618 on this first pass, yes, we found resistance over here, but after the anchor, this was before the anchor. When the anchor was set, this was the first pass. This is the real first pass, and we broke through it like butter. I very much doubt that this that the 886 is going to hold it as resistance. I very much doubt that. In fact, generally, whenever you see price break above the 618 on its first pass like this, so easy. I mean, it didn't just break above it, like it closed, it broke above the 786 even. I would say that the likelihood that we're going to the 1272, if not the 1618, is dramatically higher. And I don't mean that it's like, okay, it was possible before and now it's just a little bit more possible. Whenever you see this kind of price action, it makes it likely. It doesn't make it possible. It makes it likely. Like, we are very likely going to these price areas over here, anywhere from 33 to 35.2K. And I did say that I'd like to see a close above this day on a daily basis before I got in, or if we just broke through this. I didn't expect that we'd break through this. I thought we would hold it as resistance, come back down to the 382, and then go up from there. But we just broke through it, man. We just broke through it. So now, in my opinion, it is inevitable, and it's not a guarantee. Again, this is all likelihoods, that we're going to see price somewhere up here. So I'm definitely getting ready to buy. And where I'm going to buy is on this potential pullback that we're going to see. And I expect this pullback to be anywhere from the 29.3 range to the 28.3 range, somewhere in that kind of range. And the reason I'm convinced we're going to go higher, besides the way that the fib is interacting, is the way that the RSI is interacting. Okay? Let's just go back. I want to do this real quick. Put a vertical line on the day. This was the day. I know it looks like the RSI might have gone into the overbought zone the day before. When I say the overbought zone, I mean this black area. It gets out of the purple band and it goes up into the black. The day before was right here, and you can see that the yellow line is actually just below the overbought zone. So technically it's not overbought. This is technical analysis. Let's be technical. Overbought zone, this was the first day here, okay? Which was yesterday, the 21st, okay? We're gonna go back in time just a little bit. We're not gonna do this too much, but just a little bit. Every time that we first get into the overbought zone, the first day, which would have been here, right? I'm not going to count this. I consider that a rejection off the overbought personally. It did get in the overbought technically, but it's a rejection. Just like on the weekly basis, how we did break below the 50 here, we did break below the 50 here, but really we bounced off it, you know. Anyways, back to the daily. Back to the day. I think that's enough iterations. We'll just go to get the point across. So I put a line on each day that just began to get into the overbought zone. This is whenever the RSI is hot. It's literally called the overbought zone for a reason. You're at strong levels of the RSI. It's where you would expect it to not go up too much further, you know, maybe a little bit more, maybe not, but it would start, you know, this is generally the area you want to sell in the overbought zone, you want to buy in the oversold zone. But this is where most people get it wrong. They think as soon as you get overbought, oh no, it's bearish, it's time to sell. Or as soon as you get oversold, oh no, it's bullish, it's time to buy. If you do that, you're going to miss the majority of the move. You can see here we first got overbought here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 days later, we increased basically like 2%, 5%, 5%, 5%. We increased over 20% basically in the next week. Or maybe not over. Let's see. Let's just see here. From bottom to top. Yeah, over 20% in 3 days, let alone where it topped out in the range, 25% over the next week. Here, you got overbought. You didn't go up as high as the last one, but you still went up higher in the coming days. Same thing here. You got overbought. You went up higher in the coming days. I would expect the way, you can just see how this looks different in my opinion than this does, right? We're in the beginning of this move. We're not I don't think we're at the end of it. We just broke this range, volume's increasing. I think we're in the beginning of this move. So I do expect something more like this. Maybe it's not up in such a straight line. I would expect some kind of a pullback again today, maybe tomorrow, maybe over the next 2 days, you know. But I would expect today that we would see some kind of pullback to the 236 or the 382. But I don't think that Bitcoin's stopping here. In fact, I think that over the coming days, over the week, over the next week, we are going to see continuation. This overbought zone, you know, we're just now in it. I don't think it's going to turn around here. It could. It could. This is all based on likelihoods. It's not a guarantee. But generally, when you get into the overbought zone like this, when you break the 618 on the first pass, you're getting increasing volume as we're going up. Generally, I would expect that we're going to see some kind of continuation. And it all points, in my opinion, to around 34K. If we go from the top here to the current low, the 1414, I've looked at this already. This is how I know where I'm going with this. All right, so the 1414 is at 34.1K. If I was to take, I'm going to bump it out on the weekly here. If I was to take this from top to bottom, the 1618, am I looking at it right? Okay, yeah, no, maybe? Yes, okay, yeah, okay, sorry. The 1618 is right here, which is also right, it's literally right where the 1414 is. You can't even, it threw me off because it's literally right on it, man. The 1414 is at 34,106. This one's at 34,114. They're literally less than $10 apart. It's like you can't see the 141. You can't see the red line here. Look, you see how it's there now. But like if I don't get that. How do I make it? Okay, now you can see it. Yeah, you can see it now, but now you can't see it, right? They're right on top of each other. Okay. Now watch this. Watch this. It doesn't stop there. That's not the only fib that it does that on. If we take this top here to the bottom here, the 0.618, is that right? Is that the one? No, sorry. The 0.69 is right there at the 1618 and the 1414 as well. You've got three very significant fib-based time frames, fib-based retracements on significant time frames that all line up in the same area. And in fact, I really do think that that's where this price is going to go. I think that we're going to see the price of Bitcoin go to about here, 34.1K. And this is why I'm getting ready to buy. I know I said, and this is where I'm circling back to what I was saying earlier. I know I said that if we bought, or if we broke this, if we closed above this on a daily perspective, that I don't care what's going on, you know, we don't need a pullback, I would buy. I'm saying, you know, I said the same thing with the 618 though. It doesn't, if we don't need to close above this for it to be a buy signal. If we break through the 618 like butter, which we have, it's going to be a good time to buy. And I think that's happening now. I think we do see some kind of a pullback, and it'll give a better, a few $100, maybe $1,000 lower. It'll give a slightly better buying opportunity. But truthfully, if you buy here, even I think you're good at least to 34K or 34K, which from here is above a 10% move. That's a 12% move. I wouldn't go long here. Again, if I was going long, I would wait for a pullback. That's more risky. But if you were trying to buy here, maybe throw 10% in, maybe throw 20% in. DCA, if it goes a little bit higher, if you take out this high, throw the whole stack in, because we're definitely going up here. If we go lower, nibble at it. But I think that we're in the time where really this move up to 34.1, 34.5K, somewhere in that range, I think that this is coming into fruition. And I know on the weekly, in my video yesterday, I was saying that I was expecting we would go up to the purple line, if not just, I was actually saying higher. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if that's not going to, and when I say it's not going to happen, I mean, I don't think it's going to happen this week. I don't think it's going to happen next week. Maybe it happens next month. But in the current time frame, like in the coming week to 2 weeks, I would expect to see the 1272 to the 1414 hit. This is becoming increasingly more likely. And the reason why I really like this 1414 is because if we take this fib here, the same one that I was using the 1618 on, if we look at, because that's where the 1618 is, the 1414 is where we topped before. We topped literally right here on the 1414. So to me, whenever I see that kind of stuff, fibs tend to, like, they have behavioral, they behave in phases, right? And right now, if it respected the 1414 there, I'm inclined to believe that we're going to see respect on the 1414 here, which again is where that previous fibs 1618 is, which is also a very significant level. So, which would then ultimately lead us to above the 1618 here, even, But I do think that we see at around 34 to 34.5K. I think we see some kind of consolidation. Maybe something like this, maybe something like this even, I doubt it's going to be as long as this last one was, but maybe we consolidate for like a month, maybe just under a month, maybe just over a month, something like that, though. I wouldn't expect it to be 2 months or longer than that, but a little bit of consolidation before we proceed to move higher. And I do think we proceed to move higher, at least at the current moment. A lot things can change. We'll see what the price looks like. The reason I do think that we're going to see a pullback, at least in the very, very immediate term, is because we do have declining volume. We do have bearish divergence. And right now, literally, like after this video is made, man, after I'm done making this video, I'm going to go put a buy order in for Bitcoin right at the 382. That's where I'm going to put it in. And I'm just going to, kind of maybe layer it in from the 236 to the 382. That's where I'm going to be buying, because I expect Bitcoin to go there. I expect it to hold there, and most importantly, I expect that we are going to see extensions up to 34K, which is going to be like a 10+% move. So that's nice. It's definitely nice. What would cancel that out? If this was to be wrong, if this was indeed a bear's wet dream and we're seeing a double top here, right, on these two tops, and this is going to flush out to the bottom, what we would need to see to confirm that is, well, we'd need today to close red. We would need, a bearish engulfing candle would definitely be nice. But really, I think what we would need to see first would be prices closing below on a daily perspective, not on a 4 hour, not on an hour. On a daily perspective, prices closing below, I don't even know if price closes below there, if that's really convincing. But this would be the first step. If we close on a daily perspective below 29.5K, I'll be a little bit more convinced that this could be a double top. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could happen. Really, though, the daily close we would need to see would be below here. Not only is it a low point here, but it's also a point of resistance here, and that's at 28 grand. So if we close below 28 grand, which from the current price, again, I wouldn't buy here personally. I would wait for a pullback. If I was to buy, let's say I bought at the 236, at like the absolute highest that I'm expecting to buy, that would be a 4% potential downside, not even a 5% downside move. to risk a 12% move to the upside, right? Because that's where from here, from the 236 to 34.1K, it's actually a 16%. So you're literally risk versus reward is 4 to 1. So that's really good risk to reward. So I feel very comfortable buying at the 236 or the 382. I do not think that on a daily perspective we're going to close here. I'd actually be surprised if we close below here, but again, this could happen and it wouldn't be detrimental. I would say if we had a daily close below here, especially, you know, if we had some kind of bullish engulfing candle and volume increased, that kind of look, I would start to treat this more as a double top. I definitely would. I'm going to be very clear right now. I do not think this is a double top. I do not think this move is over. I do think that we're going to go higher, close to this purple line. Probably not quite to it immediately, but inevitably I do think we're going to go above it. On a daily perspective, you know, on a weekly perspective, it's probably going to happen quicker, but on a daily perspective, we probably find some kind of resistance in this area, move sideways for like a month and a half, and then we break above it, you know. But short term, I'm definitely bullish. Very, very immediate term, I'm a little bit bearish, and I'm going to put my buy orders down below current prices in accordance to that. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like there's something else I wanted to say, but I think if that's it, that might be it. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. I'm not done just yet. I might be, but I wanna look. I guess I can say more of the same stuff that I've been saying. You know, this bounce off the weekly off the 50 is really very significant. It's definitely proven itself. I mean, this week hasn't even closed, and I'm quite convinced that this is a pretty solid bounce. It hasn't closed yet, technically. So hopefully, you know, I don't eat my words on that, but I'm very convinced that this is a bounce. I did say that anytime we've seen a bounce off the 50, that from a low to high, the smallest bounce we've seen in Bitcoin's history was like 25.2%. And that would take us right around, if not just above, this previous high. And I don't think it's going to stop here. Again, this is the smallest increase it's seen from a bounce off the 50. I think that we're not going to see the smallest increase. I think we're going to see a bigger increase. Maybe it's 40%. Maybe it's 50, 60%. The next smallest one was 70%. I don't know if we're going to see above a 70% increase, at least not like off of this move directly, you know, before seeing more consolidation. We could. It's possible. We could go higher than that even. But I would think that we're more likely going to see something in between 25 and 70. And you know, a move to 34-ish, that's about 38.9K. That fits that range. And it meets the standards for bouncing off of this 50. And it's at that 1618 and the 1414 and the 0.69 on very significant time frames. On a weekly basis, it does look like we have decreasing volume, yes. As we're moving up here, the volume is not spectacular in comparison to these moves. But again, if we really look at this, what you do have is you have a low point in volume here, and volume is increasing. And in fact, you know, we do have 4 days left. It's not yet, you know, the volume technically hasn't gone above this, but I would bet you within the next 4 days we're going to see enough volume to be higher than this. As we're moving up, volume is increasing. It doesn't need to be as high as these spikes over here. It just needs to be increasing. And volume doesn't need to do anything at all. I mean, it's not like we could have no volume and still move up a lot. You know, it's nice to see the volume agree with the price. It really is. It helps me sleep better at night. So, with all that being said, I guess I'm just going to give a general rundown of what I'm expecting. And to do that, I want to pop out to the 1 hour. What I'm expecting in the immediate term, over the night while I sleep, maybe into the next day in the morning or even into the afternoon, I would expect we see Bitcoin going below this low here, probably around 29.3K to 28.3K, somewhere around there. I'm putting my buy order personally at 28.4K. I'm going to do that. That's where I'm going to have it. Stop losses at, where are we having our stop losses at? Let's get this figured out, right? 28.1K, or I guess technically, I don't know. You know, I would say 28.1K. Maybe not. Let me see here real quick. Because I said on a closing basis, it would need to close below there. So we could go below there and it'd still be fine. Yeah, Yeah, I might actually I might move my stop loss up even a little bit. If we were to go, I'd say below 28.3K, that would, man, I don't know. That's a hard one. That's a hard one, man. If I was to buy at 28.4K, okay, I'm comfortable with that. Yeah, stop loss at 26.9K. The 618. I'm comfortable with that. Stop loss just below that even, 26.8K. That is a little bit more than a 5% move, which I personally don't like losing more than 5%, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I don't even think we go that low on a move. I don't think that we're going to see that kind of volatility. We could, but that's personally where I'm going to be putting my stop loss, so that if something happens and we do get a black swan event and we go down, I only lose 5%, 5.5%. But I don't expect that to happen. In fact, I don't even expect us to get anywhere near there. I think that 28.3K will hold. 29.3K will probably, it has a solid chance of even holding too. But that's where I'm putting my buy order in anticipation that we are going to make a move up to 34.1 to 34.5K. At the moment, I would plan on selling there. If I wake up tomorrow and my order is filled by the time I wake up, I'll probably set my sell orders up there. But we'll just see how it goes. And the reason I think that we're going to move down immediately, like in the very, very immediate term, is mainly because of this bullish or bearish divergence we have playing out. And as much as we've been holding our RSI in this overbought zone, it looks like we're starting to get out of it. It does look like we're starting to get out of it. So, what would really confirm a move down to the 236 to the 382 would be an hourly close below this level here at about 29.9K. And that's only $400 away. So I do think it's possible. I even think it's likely. It doesn't have to. If it continues to go up from here, then it's going to go up without me, because I'm definitely not buying here personally. I think it is a safe bet to buy here. I do think that inevitably we are going to see extensions, but it's just not my style, especially with decreasing volume, bearish divergence, this big wick here. I'm not going to buy here. I don't feel comfortable doing it. Around previous areas where we topped, I would feel more comfortable buying, here and like testing it as support, or here at these daily closes, testing it as support, confirming it as support. And again, we can wick below these levels. We can wick below these levels, but if we close below them, that's when things would look bearish. And we still have, we have a lot of time to go in the day, but yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I think that's it. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope I made sense. I think I said everything that I want to say. The main thing that really has my attention is the fact that the 1414 here, it's literally, man, quite literally the exact same as the 1618 of this fib. The 1618 here, it is right, you can't even, I have to scroll on this. You can't even see it. It overlaps it so well. I very much do believe that we are going to at least go here, and I would expect that we find some form of resistance there. Maybe we come back down to the 1272 to find support. You can ping pong in this area a little bit. But for the current time being, I'm just going to say it one more time, a little bit to the downside, and then up. I don't think this move is done. I don't think that this is going to be the low. I very much doubt that this is a reversal point and we're going to see bearish continuation to the downside. I do, and I am starting to think as these moves get stronger and as we progress higher, I am starting to think that this might be the low for the cycle. This really might be the low for the cycle, which, sad as it is, you got to call a spade whenever it's in your face. And that it doesn't have to be a sad thing. You can buy, you can catch it, you can go up, you can ride the bus up with everybody else. It's not the train has not left the station yet. Oh no, from bottom here. Let's see, from bottom here to top, or I guess the current price. Oh no, we moved up 22%. Sucks to suck. You missed that. I missed it. But that doesn't mean that you have to miss the next 22%. It doesn't mean you have to miss the next 16%. If Bitcoin does go to the 382, which I think it does, 28.5K, that would mean you only miss 15% of the move, okay? And then at that point, you can, if I move it, right, you can catch a move that's bigger than that. you can catch a move that's even bigger than that. 32.9K, I don't think so. I think it's going to 34 point whatever. You know, close. You can catch your own 20% move. And maybe it doesn't go that high. Maybe nothing happens the way I've said. You know, this is all speculation. This is all based off of statistics and likelihoods and my own experience with it, you know. So it's not a guarantee. But from what the charts are showing me, I very much doubt that this is the end of this move. I do expect continuation. Maybe, and in fact, what I would expect in the very, very immediate term time frame, that we see something like this, right? A little divil, davil, whatever, but then inevitably continuation. I plan on buying whenever we have this little divil, davil, and then up we go. Again, if you like the video, please leave a like. I very much appreciate it. Please subscribe for more content. I know that I'm getting more subscribers every day, and I'm just grateful for everybody that's doing that. That just shows that you guys appreciate the content, you appreciate the information, and I very much appreciate all you guys. Whenever I hit 100, I definitely plan on doing something special. You know, we'll see. We'll see what it's going to be, but I plan on doing something special for my top 100 people. That's for sure. Because that's a special mark, man. Like if I get 1,000 subscribers one day, 100,000 subscribers, 1,000,000 subscribers, you guys are the first 100 people to be here, and that is something that I will die with. That is something that means something to me. So just thank you guys. Thank you so much for all the support and all the comments, all the likes, all the love. I very much appreciate it. I very much appreciate all you guys. So without any more, I don't know what to call that. Without any more appreciation, have a good night. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.